Hey guys, so just wanted to go over one of the deals I did. It was a commercial property. I'm listing the property. It was on the market for a while and it's a little complicated, so I'm going to get into the story. Give you guys some tips maybe you can use as yourself as an agent, or if you're buying privately, and all these things are going to be useful to you. But basically, I had the property for sale. My brother found this buyer, and the buyer owned the property next door to this commercial building and the other one. And this is very important because if you ever follow Monopoly, you have to own 4 greenhouses to make the Red Hotel, right? So he already owns 2 beside it. This, as the listing agent right now, I understand this guy needs this property, not necessarily is he just kind of shopping around. So they made the mistake of this. But here's the bigger mistake this buyer made. He screwed over my brother and then called another agent, which was nothing against this agent. This agent did his job very well, but now this agent's going into this deal behind the 8 ball, as the way that I would see it, because now I know everything about the buyer, and now you just insert an agent who then now kind of pissed off my brother, but then my brother was just like, okay, well, put an offer down. So this guy offers, and my brother probably told him a number that, just to get something on paper. And then this agent was trying to use their first offer, being like, but Jeff, this is what you said would be good. And I'm like, I never said that. Maybe my brother said that, but I never said that. And basically, so he offers, and we're probably like $50K apart on list and list price. And it's a long little battle, and we were pretty stubborn at the top because they didn't understand our why. We didn't 100% need to sell the commercial property. We just kind of had it on the market. And if you're a buyer agent, or if you're doing the selling, as a buyer agent, you need to figure out the why. And the why is they didn't do good homework on this. They just figured like, oh, the market is this and this and this. Like, cool, the market's that. Congratulations. You're a little high. Okay, cool, I'm high. Like they didn't realize I'm not desperate, and you guys as buyer agents, you got to figure this out. What's the pain point? So like in my opinion, they picked all the wrong battles and trying to attack us. So we just kind of held our ground. They're in the worst spot now where they have to counter themselves. So they start creeping up by 10K. We can just sit there now and wait for them to come up to our level. We don't even have to counter them. They're countering themselves. Then they're trying to bring out some comps and blah, blah, blah. But remember, I know that he owns the 2 neighboring properties. He'll pay another $20,000, $30,000 just to own the line of properties. That's what he wanted. I knew this. So they eventually get up, and we're at, like, say, I think it was 385, and he was like, 370 gets it done today. And I'm like, cool, 385. And he's trying to play all these games, and I'm like, then what does he do? He creeps up to, I can get him to sign at 380, and I'm like, cool, 385. And right? And like, it's just so funny. And I'm like, we're not desperate, dude. You're the one that needs this property. So they go they go conditional at 385. Commercial properties take a long time for financing. So this was like over Christmas. So you can kind of see it's still freezing cold and snowy, but it was a long last time. They found some issues that they didn't like over the holidays, and they held on to these issues right till the end of January when they were going to firm up with us. And they start bringing up some issues like the plumbing is this and the electrical is this, and you're missing fire extinguishers. And I'm like, who the freaking cares about fire extinguishers? Like, we'll get you I'll put a bow on it and it'll be there upon closing. Like, we can get you a fire extinguisher. So he tries to attack like plumbing and electrical, and sends me like 2 quotes, like pretty much $6,000 each, and wants $12K off. Now, what would you guys do on that? Would you go to your seller and be like, hey, like they need a deal and then what the buyer agent's saying is, oh, you're gonna have to do these things anyways to improve the property. And in my head, I'm like, well, I'm sorry, is the property on fire? Is the plumbing not working? Like, no, it's fine. Like, they're doing a good job on their end trying to create a problem. But if you're more experienced, you're not gonna like fall into this. You're gonna be like, we can do the updated plumbing in 7 years from now. It's not an immediate thing. Like you're saying there's an issue. Granted, there might be, but it's not the end of the world. So what would you guys do? They want 12K off. Do you go to your seller and be like, we need 12K off. Let's just give them 6. And we both split 6 and maybe that'll make them happy. So what do you think I did? So we did give a little bit of money off. I got authorized a little bit from my seller. He was reluctant because, like, again, we didn't need to sell and they're coming out, but it was a bit of tedious because it's been like 60 days and we're right at the buzzer. I felt they were obviously using the last couple days as a negotiating point to be like, let's just get it done. And you guys know how I hate let's just get it done. And what did we tell them? We told them they wanted 12K. We said, here's 2K. I told them after a while, after I told them, like, we already gave you $15,000 off the purchase price. And then he's like, but Jeff, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, we'll give you $2,000. And he's like, how about 5? So then all of a sudden he goes from 12 to 5. And what do you think we do? Like, oh, okay, well, let's just wrap it up. And 5 sounds good. Nope. I'm like, how about 2? And then he was kind of all pissy. And then it gets to like the end of the day and I'm like, 2,500 final. And basically we're only communicating via text because our phone calls were just going around in circles where he was trying to explain like how valuable we were because we didn't have a fire extinguisher. And I'm like, I don't care, dude. And anyways, you got to go all the way back to the beginning. I know they need these properties. They are commercial real estate. He's already spent money on an appraisal. The buyer probably spent $3,000 to $4,000 on an appraisal. They're not going to walk away from a deal at the final hour. They just wanted to squeeze a little bit of money out of us. They wanted $12,000 and we settled on $2,500. I feel a good win for my seller, and didn't just like. There's a good book you guys should look into, Never Split the Difference, and it's the first thing I didn't do, right? Don't get into the half thing right away. Fight for your clients. You're going to keep your job a lot longer than just being like, oh, let's just give them the 6K. We could have split the 12. So there's a quick story. Hopefully that helps you guys out in the field, and use that here and there, and see you on the next video.